Right then, before we get into the video, I just want to say we have got a wicked competition coming up in this video, so make sure you watch all the way through to see what it is. We are giving one of you guys a wicked opportunity to thank you for subscribing to the channel, following us and supporting our journey. So yeah, watch the video, see how we get on, and also look out for that competition. Let's crack on and catch a few fish. Right, welcome to a new video. I am back on the bank and you join me up in Oxford again, hunting some chunks. I'm back on the Syndicate. This is Phil's Lake up in Abingdon, and there's been some mega fish caught recently. Now I've already had a bit of a walk around. Now there's actually quite a few people on. I think I've counted 7 guys, and actually I think number 8 has just turned up. So with me, I guess that's going to be 9. Good math there. But yeah, that's the busiest I think I've ever seen it. So it does make sense though, because there's been a couple of really good fish caught recently, and I believe one of them was a new lake record, I think it was over 43, and it was a new fish, so not a fish that anyone thought would be coming out of that size. So clearly that fish has done well, and yeah, there's obviously a load of others. So I think there's either 4, maybe 5 fish over 40 pound now at least. Obviously there couldn't be more, because that fish that got caught, obviously no one knew that was going to be that size. Loads of 30 pounders now, absolute loads getting caught. So there's some absolute mega fish to be had, there really is. So yeah, I've only got until about midday tomorrow. It's literally about 6 PM already now, I think, or thereabouts. So time is getting on, and yeah, I've got into a swim called the Snake Pit. I literally dropped my bucket and water button there earlier, had a little nose around, and I saw a couple of fish show in front of this swim, and that is the best I've seen really. There's only a couple of other swims available. So this is my best shout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a leading rod out, have a quick chuck, make sure the spots are still as good as they have been in the past, and get a bit of bait in, get some rods in, and let's see if we can catch one. Come on. Right, well, I've had a good lead around, and the spot that I fished near in the past out towards the island is absolutely lovely. Feels really good. So I'm going to put 2 rods out there on the Ronnies, and then I've actually found a spot just to the left of the swim out towards the sort of direction of the end of the island, left hand side of the island. That was only sort of 13 wraps or so. Absolutely cracked down, really nice polished spot. I've seen a couple of fish show out there, so that's the spot sorted. I'm going to fish 2 separate spots. So I'm going to put 2 rods now out towards the island, and then I'm going to drop the 3rd rod out onto that closer in spot, and let's see if the fish want to play ball. So the rig is my faithful Ronnie. I'm fishing both on match to hatch. One of them I've got on your traditional Ronnie with the swivel on the hook, and the other rod is on a Ronnie hair rig. 4 ounce lead, standard sort of setup. Let's get it out there. Boom. Right, rod number 2, same setup pretty much, other than I'm using a hair rig Ronnie, so just slightly different presentation on the actual Ronnie rig. So I've got the plastic on the rod. Right, rod number 3, which is going to be the close rinse spot, is going to be on a solid bag. As you can see, I've got the lead on the bottom. That's so it sinks lead down like that, and then the hook bait is sat on top. Now the hook bait is actually a bottom bait, so instead of using a wafter or anything like that, I'm actually using a straight cured bottom bait on a short little bag rig, and it's just a little bit different. And I'm going to put that out onto the little spot I found out to the left of the swim. It's about 13 wraps, so it's a nice sort of gentle flick really. So we just flick this one out. Boom. So that's pretty much where I was seeing the fish show, where that one's gone out, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. All 3 rods are out and fishing. Solid bag, Ronnie, Ronnie. Those 2 are out on that spot out towards the right hand side of the island, and that one's on a shorter spot out in the direction of the left hand side of the island. So they're all out fishing, just need to sort out some bait, and hopefully the fish will play ball. Right, that's the mix then, that's about to go out. I've got a mix of boilies, S7 and the Faithful Bug. I've got some of the matching S7 and Bug pellet in there, and I've got some of the house pellet as well from Embryo. I've also put in a little bit of sweet corn, just to add a fleck of colour for a change. But that lot's all going out there. I've got some 8 millers, 18 millers and some dumbbells, and that's going to go out. I'm not going to put all of it out, just going to put a few out over both spots and see if we can get them grubbing about. Right then, the rods are finally out. It's taken a bit of time. I've actually got some new rods with me today, so I had to rig them all up and set them up and that. Yeah, I've not used them at all. I literally had to take the wrap, the like cellophane wrap or plastic wrap or whatever it is. I had to take that off of the rod butts, so they're a little bit dusty because they're cork handled, but they're the ProLogic C series 12 foot 3 1/4. Little bit softer than my other 3 1/4. There'll be a lovely playing rod, but I'm fishing out towards the island, which is a reasonable distance, and they seem to manage that fine with a 4-ounce lead. So yeah, they seem to be doing a job. Definitely feel a little bit softer, but they are a much cheaper rod. They're basically a budget rod. I decided to bring out a budget setup, so I've got the Avenger 7000 reels, which are the like big pit entry levels for ProLogic, and then I've got the C series rods, which again are like the entry level. So you know, cheap and cheerful kit really, but it does the job, and I'm going to see if I can catch a chunk using them. So anyway, I've got 2 rods out towards the island. I've put about 12 or 15 spods out there, a mix of boilie and pellet, bit of corn, and then I've got one shorter range, only about half the way across to the island, and I've only put about 5 or 6 spods on that one. That's on a solid bag, so something a little bit different. But they've all gone out absolutely fine. I'm really happy with how it's gone. I actually spooked a couple of fish out by the island when I was leading around, and a couple of fish have showed on that closer in sort of area, which is why I've put a rod there. To be fair, the spot is lovely, absolutely cracks down. And the spot out by the island is basically I'm fishing on the back of a clear area as it transitions from the gravel to the silt. I always think that is a much safer spot to fish than fishing right on top of the gravel. I do like fishing on the silt, but I found that spot out there does produces quite a few bites, so I've just decided to sort of come right on the edge of it, where I think they'd be a little bit less cautious. So anyway, the rods are all out, we're fishing. I'm hungry, the swim's a mess. I need to get everything sorted out, get some food on, and open another tin of Thatchers. So let's crack on and get that done. Right, evening then. So you join me with a tin of Thatchers. This is Thatchers number 3. I've got one more to try and polish off. I bought a 4-pack, thought might as well get through them. Why not? But I've actually just been chilling, listening to the lake. It's gone flat calm, deadly quiet. Temperature's dropped as well. I can actually see my breath. But there's actually been a few fish showing out in front of me as well. Also a few down to the right, in front of the swim next door pretty much, which is actually vacant at the moment. And I've actually heard a couple, I think, lump out further down the lake towards the bottom end. But I've not seen any torches. I've not really heard anyone have anything or seen anything going on. So I don't think anyone's had anything yet, which is strange because I think there's at least 8 of us on, might even be 9, which is the busiest I've ever seen it in the week. But I think it's a sign of things to come. The fish have grown really well. And you know, another fish has come out over the 40-pound bracket and actually done a late record. I think it was 43.10. And that fish got last caught end of the spring at 39, so it's put on a lot of weight. And there's going to be more and more fish pushing through that boundary now. There's quite a lot of upper 30s getting caught, and those fish are just going to be pushing through all the time. So I don't think it's going to be long, if I'm honest, until there's probably a 50-pounder in here. They seem to be growing so fast, which is brilliant. You know, it's a brilliant sign that the fishery's really healthy and are doing well. So yeah, absolutely buzzing for the future on here. But for the time being, it'd be nice to get a bite on this session. So I'm pretty confident. I've heard a few showing out there. So I am literally going to just polish off my last tin and a half of cider and listen to the lake, see what's happening. Then I'm going to get in a bag. Hopefully I get disturbed by a fish, but if I don't, I will see you guys in the morning for a morning coffee update. Check that out then, a 3 AM wake up call. I haven't been in the bed for that long, only a couple of hours, and it's gone rattling off. Out on that far spot out towards the island. A DNA bug pop up on the Ronnie, over that bait, bang on £25. Happy days, well happy with that. I thought there was a few fish out there, and I was right, so yeah, well chuffed. That's a lovely carp, that. Lovely condition, real chunky fish. 25-pounder. Well, I'm well happy with that. Nice result. But I'm going to get her back. And to be honest, I'm going to get back in the bag because I'm absolutely shattered. So I could do with a bit more sleep. But hopefully I get woken up again with another one. Awesome. it is a coffee update time, but normally that means I've blanked, but on this occasion I have actually had one. So I had a nice productive night, only the one fish, but it's a lovely 25 pounder on the middle rod off the area out by the island. Really happy with that. You know, I'd seen fish showing, I felt really confident, I thought I was going to have one, and it has paid off with a bite. So yeah, really chuffed with that. It was obviously the first fish as well on those rods that I'm using. I've obviously not used them, so it's the first sort of time giving them a go, and they seem to perform really well. So considering they're an entry sort of budget fishing rod, I was actually quite impressed with them, to be fair. Hit the mark pretty easy. It's about 23 wraps out to the island that I'm fishing. Played them out really well, cast really well, so I'm really chuffed with that as well. Now, I did a bit of an error, I think, and I didn't top up the spot with any bait after having that fish, and so I've not had any more bites. And I think if I topped the spot up, I might have maybe produced another bite or two. I think potentially the fish have ate that bait and done the off, but it is what it is. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm waiting for my breakfast to cook, I'm going to crack out a spod rod, put a few spods out onto that spot, and hopefully sort of revitalise that area, get the fish rooting around again, and maybe we'll be able to get a bite before I have to shoot off and go and pick up the lads from preschool. So let's crack on and do that, and yeah, we'll speak to you a bit later. Right then, so I've put a couple of spods out, only out on the spot, out towards the island. I've left the closer in spot just as it is, because nothing's happened on that one yet. So yeah, I put about 5, maybe 6 spods out on that island mark, just to top it up, try and get a bit of extra attraction out there, a bit of scent in the water. Hopefully that'll draw any fish in the area onto that spot again, and we can get another one before we have to shoot off. I've not seen anything showing, to be fair, this morning. It was pretty wet start, so I was pretty much stuck underneath the brolly, but since that sort of cleared through, I've been watching the water as much as I can, but I've not really seen a lot. So I don't know if they're still around or not, but there always seems to be a few fish knocking about this way around the island. It's obviously a kind of obvious place for the fish to want to be, and you know, go around the margin, that sort of thing. It's very sort of, you know, it's a popular sort of place to target, isn't it, on most waters. An island, it's a good feature, but there does always seem to be a few fish down here, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I've put a little bit of bait in, so the spot's topped up. Hopefully it's enough to entice another bite, but we'll see how we get on before we have to shoot off. I thought I'd show you the rods that I've been using them, because these are different to what I'd normally be using. As you can see, these ones are full corks. So these are 12 foot, 3¼ pound test curve. And these are the ProLogic C series rods. They're actually really nice. I think they've got some really nice subtle branding on them. You can see the C series logo there on the blank. But I think they're really nice rods, you know, for a budget entry sort of rod. I think they're really good. Obviously they haven't got the same kind of power as a mid-range or more expensive rod, but what they do have is, because they're obviously a cheaper carbon, because they're a budget rod, is they've got a really good playing action. They're a little bit softer, and they're really good at cushioning any sort of lunges and any sort of real fight the fish gives you. They're really good at absorbing a lot of that power, which is one of the good things about sort of more budget rods, is that they're not quite so crisp. They haven't got the backbone to sort of really chuck a rod out, but anything up to sort of maybe 100 yards maybe, I'll be quite happy using these. I'm fishing just short of that today, but I think personally they're really nice. I've got them teamed up with the budget entry big pits as well. These are the Avenger 7000s. I really like these. As you can see, those ones there have got the quick handles folded in, which obviously makes them sit a bit neater on the buzzer bars, so you don't get anything caught up. I quite like the wooden handles as well. Goes well with the cork, I think, when you've got a wooden grip. But I think they're really nice, so I'm pretty happy with them, to be honest. So first outing with them, and I've had one, so I can't complain. But anyway, you can see there the tram line's out onto that spot, and then this went out onto the spot to the left. But yeah, I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a view of them, bit of a close-up, see what you think. Be interesting to see what you guys think. Do you think they look nice? I think they look pretty good. So anyway, I'm sure I'll be taking them out for a couple more goes, and hopefully catching a few more fish on them. Right then, all the kit is loaded onto the barrow. The rods are still out. They are led on the deck down there, but I'm going to be bringing them in a minute. But I said at the start of the session that we were bringing a really good competition for one of you guys. We want one of you guys to have the chance to come out on the bank with us and be involved in a session. So whether that's just come out on the bank with us and enjoy sort of doing a bit of fishing, seeing behind the scenes how we film, that sort of thing, even getting involved, maybe learning a few things along the way yourselves. If you want to know anything about filming, camera work, photography, we'll try and teach you what we know. Also, we'll obviously document your fishing in that video, so we'll obviously feature you and what you catch and all that sort of stuff, and basically just feature you in session on the bank for 24 hours. It's all going to be paid for by us. We'll supply you with a range of DNA baits if you want to use that and give it a go. So we think it's a great opportunity for one of you guys, and the reason we're doing it is because at this point we have probably passed 8,000 subscribers. We were going to do I think we were going to do a giveaway at 6,000, and it just didn't end up happening. So we thought, you know what, we're going to try and do something which is given back to one of you guys that supports the channel and, you know, watches the videos. Now, if you want to obviously come out and be involved in a session with us, if you want to fish any of the venues that we go to, other than the syndicates, because unfortunately you won't be able to come to those, but any of the venues that maybe we've gone to, or your local venue, if you want us to come along and maybe fish that and sort of show you how we would approach it, whatever it is, essentially we're paid to go out fishing with you, we'll pay for your ticket, we'll give you bait, and hopefully we'll be able to chuck in a few other little goodies along the way as well for you to have when you leave. So anyway, if you're interested in that, we just want you to leave a comment below and just say, I want to fish with the fishing bloggers. So yeah, just leave a comment below. We're going to run it over a couple of videos, and then we'll do like a random picker and pick one of you guys to come out and be involved in a session. So hopefully you like the sound of that. We really appreciate all the support we get from everyone that follows and subscribes to the channel, and so we just wanted to give something back to you guys, which was a little bit different than just sending you out, you know, a couple of gifts, a couple of prizes or something like that. So we're essentially giving you an opportunity to go out for 24 hours fishing, be involved in the filming, be involved in a video, maybe see yourself on camera, see yourself on YouTube, and also maybe get some goodies at the end of it. So if you're interested, chuck a comment, I want to go fishing with the fishing bloggers, and we will pick someone at some point. So anyway, thank you for watching the video. I hope you've liked it. Thank you again for everyone that has subscribed to the channel. We really appreciate all the support you get. If you're new to watching this, then make sure you smash that subscribe button if you want to come out and be involved, and obviously to follow any new videos that are coming out. We upload pretty much every Tuesday around 6 o'clock, so regular content coming out every week. And there we go. So anyway, that's the end of the session. I've had one. Happy days. Remember to comment, remember to subscribe, and if you're getting out on the bank, be lucky, and I will see you next Tuesday.